All right, Abundant Fire, Astrology and Tarot. Take who knows. We're going to get the cards up real quick. Hope everyone's doing well. Our reading today is a heavy one. King of Swords, right up front, recent past. That's a good spot to be coming from. It's intelligence, logic, rules, law. That's a really good spot to be in. And current situation, Queen of Pentacles. That's fantastic too. That's a healer energy, some healer energy, working parent, but this is like material, abundance, self-made wealth and abundance. This you're in a really good spot right now, and that's fantastic. And that's gonna come in handy because well, bam, death and rebirth. Death and rebirth is not always bad. It's not always good. This is cycles of transformation. This could be fearful change, though. We're going to take a deeper look into that here in a minute. But the final card, as a clarifier or not, on this three-card spread, coming from King of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles, death and rebirth in the near future, modified by the devil. So it's not as heavy as all that, but it's not quite as light as all that either. Devil is vices, addiction, but also could be well, not also could be, but is liberation. So this pairing is to really kind of help with the death and rebirth card coming in the near future, but with the pairing of the clarification of the devil, what it's really potentially pointing towards is that the vices, the lying to yourself or temptation, shadow work, healing in the darkness, this is going to help illustrate and point towards what death and rebirth is looking at, trying to push on and change. But hey, let's take a big giant step back, take a slightly more subdued look at everything and just kind of, not trying to make a long one or anything, definitely not trying to waste anyone's time. But we appreciate you stopping by. And if you want to take a deeper look into the cards, well, here we go. So, back to the beginning, recent past, King of Swords. This is air energy. This is clarity energy, truth and proof, right? This is coming from like such a solid, mm, I know because I did, and it is what it is. Like it literally is what it is because I did what it was. Bravery, courage. This is this is blending of mental and spiritual. Okay. And we're going to keep that in mind as we move over into the next one. Got a little bit more. We'll save that. Queen of Pentacles, for the current situation. What a wonderful spot to find oneself in. What a great place to be. This is nurturing, kind of a material care, but this is grounded, down to earth, enjoying and living a deeply connected life. Home, health, environment, where the other one, the King of Swords, is this blending of mental and spiritual pursuits. This is like home, health, environment, like very rooted, very grounded, very solid, right? Very, very solid. Um, Another aspect of that is to look at it as detached intellect into grounded care. Hey, that's fantastic. We got to be taking care of ourselves. And on the topic of taking care of ourselves, death and rebirth. So let's dig into this a little bit deeper, a little bit more seriously. Fearful change, invitation, new beliefs, new awakenings, new information. Whereas we've seen other things and we've looked at discardings of old beliefs. And this is where now, after some rumination and after some consolidation, we pick up new beliefs and we start fresh ish. Again, with them together, well, we're not going to get not together. Necessary release to make way for renewal. Surrender to the change. That's a key point of this. For this, surrender to the flow. You really just gotta let go. Let it be. get in the flow. Water finds the path of least resistance. Well, wouldn't you know? The water card. So this is a water card. This is number 13 of the major arcana. This is the card before our buddy Temperance. This is the card after our buddy Temperance. So that's really fun. He comes up around here so much. But the previous little blurb about death and rebirth, necessary release to make way for renewal, surrender to change. This is going to help point to that change. You already know what it is. That thing you thought about right up front that you didn't want to think about. And you're like, well, no, it can't be that. That's the thing. By the way, you can short circuit the whole thing, close your eyes. What do I not want to fix? Fix that. You're done. Well, with that. But this guy here is going to help point to what it is to let go of. What is the renewal? What is the surrender? What is the new idea, the new belief? Structure and rebuilding, right? Whereas this is an emotional transformation. This guy here is potential. This is a hindrance or complication to change. This is going to show you what that hurdle is. Where's that stumbling block? It doesn't negate death, but points to where resistance lies or what needs consciously broken. That's the other main key to this is it's consciously broken to let go, conscious surrender. This isn't getting your butt handed to you, just being like, whoa, hey, yeah, well, I guess here we are now. It's, open hand, let's go. But consciously, as we dig, as we pursue, as we live spiritually, as we attempt to grow and grow, what are the conscious hurdles? What are the things that need to be abandoned? What are the things that need to be let go? What are the cycles that we need to break? We have the clarity, we have the logic, we know the answer. We have the material, we have the foundation, we have so much earth under us and so much capacity and access. We're going to need it. But what's the stumbling block? What's the hindrance? What's keeping you from being the best you for you right now? Doesn't have to be forever, just right now, if only for today. What is going to be that piece? What's that thing? So we're just going to take a look at a few more things, round it out. Really don't want to take too much of you guys' time today. The elemental flow on this spread is air, earth, water, back to earth. That's, really love that. Really love the mental aspect of it all and the foundational moving into the emotional. And that's, and then we get some more just real solid foundation to help hold it in. We're going to go through this death and rebirth, the cycle of change, and we're going to need that abandonment of whatever that is, that point of time, that split. That becomes a new anchor point. That's how you take the bad and make it good. Um, this is detached intellect and the grounded care into a deep emotional shift, but coming out with material or psychological bindings that resist the change. So it really is, it's this conscious effort to not resist the change, to not be trapped in that thing, right? We've spoken a couple times in the recent days about struggles and about, the need to push. I got a note from the astrology department on this one because it's a really good one. So they felt like chiming in. And we've got this is a Pluto Saturn pairing governs the future. Heavy hitters, these two. Pluto destroys to evolve. Saturn restricts to test. Expect deep karmic work. Deep, deep karmic work. And yeah, the restriction and the testing and the pushing against the boundaries and iron sharpens iron. You don't know how strong you are until you really fight. And this is as we do. This is inward. This is an internal focus. This isn't go pick a fight with that person you don't like. This isn't, pick a fight with your brother because he pissed you off. This isn't that. And if that's where you go with it, turn that inward. If my immediate my brother's the devil, well, what is it about him that threatens me? What is it about him that I see in me that I hate? What is it about him? And that's just a just a tangent. My bad. But ultimately, the devil in this spread is serving as a growth card, as a challenge card, is really something to push through and really inquire, confrontationally inquire on your desires and your compulsions. You probably won't be too surprised when you find. Thanks so much for stopping by. We're really enjoying it. The technology department told me to tell you guys hi. Uh, we're working on getting them out here as well. We're still working on the background and get this picture out of here pretty soon. But set construction's been held up due to financial constraints, as is the world. This is a spread, but this might not be my spread. And if it's not your spread either, well, then just leave it here. But if it is, take what resonates. I hope you had a fantastic time. Really do appreciate you stopping by. And as always, we'll be back again real soon. So thanks so much. Bye.